Alright.
Welcome to Ranger testing video. In this video I'll test Warfare versus Huntsman. It's been pointed out to me in comment section that Warfare is much better for Ranger character than Huntsman ability. So I will test both of the claims and I will test what happens when you put same amount of points in both of these skill trees. The weapon looks like this, so I did play it as a physical damage. I have 3 runes that increase physical damage of this weapon and also get wits, which increases critical chance, but that doesn't matter for the testing purposes. Alright, so first I'm testing this. I have ranged 17, but that doesn't matter. What matters only is Warfare and Huntsman. Currently my Huntsman is at 4 and Warfare is at 10. And that's the only thing that I will change. Next one will be reversed and then I'll meet them halfway. Alright, so normal attack with this setup does this amount of damage, in total about 4800. If we do static cloud, we do this amount of damage. Now I'm going to test barrage skill, see how it affects the skills. And this is the damage, approximately. Now I'm going to test with a different setup. Huntsman 10, Warfare 4, everything else is the same. This is the damage. It is lower than with Warfare, but the thing is we were standing on a high ground with the first setup and we gained some benefits from Huntsman as well. So we shall see how that build works when there is no high ground. Here is the damage of static cloud arrow. Now we're going to test this build, but without the high ground. We have 4 in Huntsman and 10 in Warfare. We have technically 2 in Huntsman, actually 1, but we get from gear 2 more points and Lone Wolf 1. So I can't do anything about that. And you also need a couple of points into Huntsman anyway if you're going to play Ranger just to get the skills. This setup definitely has the worst damage of the ones that we tested so far. It's not by much, but it's definitely the worst. So I will now fire static cloud to see what happens there. Yeah, damage is much lower. Barrage is lower as well. Now I'm testing with same amount of points in both trees. 6 Huntsman, 6 Warfare. This is the damage, somewhere in between of them all. Now it's time for the second round of tests. Considering that Larian said that there will be no more items with 3 slots to put runes in, I've decided to remove 2 of the runes and now we have only 1 rune that increases physical damage by 15%. So let's see how it does now. First setup, Warfare 10, Huntsman 4. Obviously damage will immediately take a hit, but what's interesting is how it's going to compare to other builds. Now we're testing with Huntsman 10 and Warfare 4. Here is the damage. And this is the barrage damage. It's time to test this Warfare setup on normal ground. Let's switch to static cloud arrow. And now time for barrage. And the last test will be equally distributed points through Huntsman and Warfare, and we're going to use high ground with only one rune. There you go, all tests done. Now let's compare the results. This is the spreadsheet of testing with 3 runes, and the conclusion is definitely this. Use the high ground. You need Huntsman points to get the skills, and you need 5 Huntsman points to get Arrow Storm skill, which is the skill that will save your ass on higher difficulties. If you put Huntsman below 5, you lose that skill, which could be essential in some of the nastier fights where auto attack won't help you. If you max out Warfare and you put couple of points into Huntsman, then you're going to do the most amount of damage. If you reverse, damage will be reduced by about 10%, but you keep your Arrow Storm and some of the other abilities that require Huntsman at higher level. The worst thing to do is pump points into Warfare and stay on normal ground. That way you will definitely lose a lot. The best setup might be if you just go for 5 Huntsmen and the rest into Warfare. If you're playing a ranger that uses an elemental magic school, for example pyrokinetic, and you're casting spells while having points into intelligence and finesse, then Huntsman is the thing for you, because spells benefit from Huntsman high ground bonus as well. If you're playing Ranger like that, then definitely focus on Huntsman rather than Warfare. If you're playing complete physical build, like I did that Ultimate Ranger build, then you might be best off if you put 5 points into Huntsman and the rest into Warfare. This is the second spreadsheet, where damage differences are even lower because the overall damage is lower. The ultimate conclusion is that you can play with Huntsman or with Warfare, up to you, as long as you are using the high ground and couple of points into Huntsman to get the necessary skills. These skills can be very efficient in battle, so neglecting Huntsman is a bad idea altogether. Warfare, it's up to you really. If you go full Huntsman without a point in Warfare, you're still doing a good thing. So don't even bother with losing your sleep over not putting right points somewhere else. Ultimately, it doesn't matter that much, as long as you're using the high ground. That's it. Thank you all for watching. I hope I helped you out with this video, and I apologize for saying that Warfare was the least important skill for Ranger. I was wrong there, as some of you have strongly pointed that out. That's it for the video.
Toodaloo, motherfucker. Hey.